Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Capsource investor call. I appreciate you all joining me. Today is September 26, 2024, and it is noon Pacific time. A quick disclaimer, anything you hear on this call should not be construed as legal or accounting advice. If you have specific legal or accounting questions, please reach out to competent counsel for any advice that they may have. Today, really, the hope is just to give you an update as to what's been going on during the last quarter, as well as answering some investor questions that have come up or have been sent to us over the last couple weeks. Again, I want to remind everybody that we are doing interim distributions based on the court's order that allows us to distribute funds 45 days after the end of each calendar quarter for assets that are sold or regular monthly or principal payments that we receive during that time period. So I'm going to jump right into the investor questions now. So some questions is, when will the receivership be resolved? The receivership will continue until the assets have all been liquidated. We've done a claims process and then done final distributions. We hope to sell the remaining assets of the estate within the next couple quarters. We do have one big claim still that we're working on with ARC, and we hope to also get that resolved next year, and with the hopes of getting a claims process done and getting money distributed out to investors as quickly as possible. Next question is about investments. My money was invested into Fifth Avenue Estates and Global Labs. I was told by Horizon Trust that this is the case, but they no longer have custody of my money. Why have not heard anything about either full or partial return of my investments? So if your money was invested into Fifth Avenue is a receivership entity, and funds have been being distributed out on that loan. There are some questions we have about some of the related investors into Fifth Avenue that we've been reviewing and hope to have some further answers. Global Labs LLC is not a receivership entity and was not part of Capsource. If you've invested in that and have not been able to get any answers, please do reach out to us and we'll see what we can do to help in that process. The next questions have to do with claims and the distribution process. The first question is, do I need to file a claim? So once we have completed the sale of assets, we will be doing a claims process where we're going to look to see if any investors are still owed money based on their investments. That will give you an opportunity at that time to file a claim against the estate, and then any remaining funds that are available will be distributed out, based on those claims at that time. The claims process has not started yet, so there's no need to fill out any claim form yet or to get that started. Once that process does begin, we will notify all investors at that time and allow them to file a claim. Next question is it correct to assume that interest payments made prior to the receivership are not included in the return of principal? So in a receivership, claims are typically done on a money in, money out basis, which is to say that we look at the total amount of money that was invested, the total amount of money returned, and then that would be the basis for your claim. The only time interest is ever paid in a receivership is once all principal has been repaid to all investors, and then it can be considered at that point. Will investors be made whole? And if so, what is the timeline? In this case, we do believe that investors will be made whole, that they will get at least 100% of their investment back. The timeline for that is unknown at this point because, as we've stated, there are some other things that need to happen before final distributions will happen. The hope is that we would be able to make a final distribution out, based on the various different timelines that we're working at. But at this point, we think it'll be at least at the end of 2025, if not a little bit later than that. When will I receive the funds that I'm owed? The funds are being distributed out on a pro rata basis, based on the sale of properties or the payments being received. And once that's been established, then those payments do go out 45 days after the end of each calendar quarter. Let's see, when do we expect to receive 25 to 50% of the monies that have been held back over the years? That will be done during the claims process once we have an idea of exactly what everybody's owed, what the potential tax ramifications are to the estate, and any other administrative claims that would need to get paid out. Then we have the next group of questions relates to some specific loans. The first being Meadow 78 and King 261. When will final payments be made? Is there a schedule for payments? Again, these are based on the principal portion of the sale has been distributed out based on the distribution plan approved by the court. Any remainder amount will not be paid out till after the claims process is done. Fillmore, will Fillmore property be sold before the first of the year? We hope so. We do have a purchase and sale agreement signed on that property, and we do believe that that will get wrapped up before the end of this year. Let's see. ARC, will we be getting our principal back? Yes, we believe that based on our conversations with ARC and all the information we know, that people will be getting their full principal investments back on that case. Let's see, when might this investment be completed? Again, we're hoping to work through that process next year. We do believe that we can get that to resolution and are working diligently towards that. Next question, are they selling the business or just making payments back to investors? My understanding is right now that they are not intending to sell the business and that they do intend to make the payments out of profits of the business or to seek a loan to buy out the investors in this case. Can you provide more explanation as it relates to ARC option 3 regarding the following statement from the 8th status report? The receiver has not completed investigation or counting of principal reduction loans. However, the active loans have been reviewed for the purpose of interim distributions. So there were some principal reductions that were being done as some of the properties were or having issues. And so they ended up selling them for discounted prices. We are going to seek to get that information, and where principal reductions were done, we do hope to have a claims process that will enable people who did not get their full principal back to make a claim against the estate to get paid back. Let's see, people have some questions about CapWest Income Fund. CapWest Income Fund is not part of Capsource and is unrelated to the receivership. If you are having a difficult time getting in contact with them, please let us know and we can attempt to get you any contact information that is available. Next question is there a chance that this fund might be added to the receivership? We have no information about that fund being added to the receivership. If you believe it should be, then I would recommend you reach out to the Securities and Exchange Commission and or to provide us the information as the reason why you believe that should, and we can pass along that information to the SEC ourselves. And finally, the last bit is just about communication, how to get a hold of us. If you need to reach out to us, there's a couple different ways to do so. The first would be to get under our website at www.capsource-receivership.com. That's capsource-receivership.com. Or you can call area code 971-357-2220. Again, that's 971-357-2220. You can also reach us via email at contact@capsource-receivership.com. Again, that's contact@capsource-receivership.com. And those are great ways to be able to get a hold of us if you have any specific questions. If you have information on assets you believe that we need to know, or information on any of the defendants that you think should be known, do feel free to reach out to us. It does look like there was at least one question that popped up in the chat regarding JC Commercial Properties. So the initial payment on JC Commercial has been made pursuant to the distribution plan. The holdback percentages have not been paid out and won't until we get through the claims process. And then we will evaluate that and then make those payments at that time. I appreciate everybody taking the opportunity to join today. Again, if you guys have specific questions, please do reach out to us and we will get back to you as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we will be filing an updated status report at the end of October, as well as having another one of these calls in approximately 90 days. Again, thank you for joining, and please do reach out if you have questions. Thank you.